everyone knows that you're in a relationship. Do you still deal with people, like men being funny?
Do everybody know? I feel like I need to scream it from the mountaintops one more time.
Every living person knows. If there's ever the epitome of my man, it's you. Literally the sound is you.
What can I say? I love my man.
We know. Have you always been that way when it comes to...
I'm a Capricorn. Like, what?
Okay, but what does that mean though? Like,
I feel like when a Capricorn in love, like when we single, we single. But when we in love, like, I wake up, my man. I take a my man. I make breakfast, my man. I'm driving, my man. I'm bathing.
The internet's correct about who the person is. Do you guys, look, I appreciate that y'all keep y'all business to yourselves. Like, I'm for it, and that it's not for promo. But is that, do you guys enjoy that part of it too? Of like, cause some people hate having to be private. Some people love being private. Where are y'all at with it?
The internet don't know a goddamn thing. Let's start there. But I like being private. I think it ain't really nobody business. Like, listen to the music and you'll know what you need to know.
Right.
Chanel, my wife. Running through these New York streets, about to go have this dinner with my husband.
Oh, wait. So are you tired of people asking about you know who?
No.
21. So you're not tired of hearing about 21?
Oh, this one? This is the kind of messy that makes the internet stop scrolling mid-bite. Because just when you thought the 21 Savage and Latto situation couldn't get any more complicated, here comes a pregnancy announcement, a wife quietly lurking in the background, and a single like that has people reading between lines that may or may not even exist. And trust me, by the time we get to the DNA test rumors and those baby shower details, they're going to understand why people are side-eyeing everybody involved. Oh, this is the kind of situation that has the internet pausing mid-scroll because nothing about it is simple. You've got Latto announcing a whole pregnancy, Kiana quietly liking the post like she's not part of the storyline, and then rumors swirling that 21 Savage might be asking for a DNA test behind the scenes. So now everybody's confused. Is that like a show of support, a subtle warning, or the calmest reaction to chaos we've ever seen? And are we looking at a messy love triangle, a private arrangement, or something nobody wants to fully explain? Because trust me, the deeper you go into this, the messier it gets. Now, let's be real for a second. None of this came out of nowhere. The internet has been clocking Latto and 21 Savage for years. This secret relationship was about as secret as a flashing neon sign. We saw the matching vacation backgrounds, the suspiciously similar locations, and let's not forget when he accidentally posted that no makeup picture of her talking about, "Damn you fine," and then deleted it like we wouldn't notice. Sir, this is the internet. Nothing disappears. And then you've got Latto with the constant my man, energy in interviews, in her music, in her whole vibe. Like, girl, at that point, just drop the name because we already solved the puzzle. And when she tried to play it off like her album title and jewelry weren't connected to him, please, 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 21. Y'all really thought we weren't going to do the math? But here's where it starts getting interesting. On one side, you have Latto being loud, proud, and very much in love, calling this man her husband, dropping hints in songs, basically building a whole narrative around their relationship. Meanwhile, 21 Savage is moving like a ghost. No public confirmation, no official posts, no yes, that's my woman. It's always silence, privacy, and just enough slip-ups to keep people talking. And that contrast, that's what has people raising eyebrows. Because how are you claiming someone at full volume while they're whispering or not speaking at all? At some point, people start asking, is this privacy or is this avoidance? And just when you think you understand the dynamic, here comes the part that really complicates everything. Kiana. Because yes, while all of this has been unfolding, there's a whole wife in the picture. Not a rumor, not maybe a real documented relationship that reportedly goes back over a decade. We're talking history, kids, and even reports of a marriage that dates back to around 2020. And for a long time, people tried to explain it away. Maybe it was for legal reasons, maybe it was just an arrangement, especially with his immigration situation. But then you see family moments, holidays, real-life interactions, and suddenly it doesn't look so on paper anymore. So now the question becomes, what exactly is going on here? Is this a traditional marriage, an understanding between adults, or a situation where lines have been blurred for a long time? Then the pregnancy announcement drops, and that's when everything goes into overdrive. Latto didn't just casually share the news. This was a full aesthetic moment. The visuals, the styling, the whole big mama energy, down to the baby shower invitations that had people zooming in like detectives. Because printed right there were the names Alyssa and Shah. And if you know, Shah being short for Shah bin Abraham Joseph, which just so happens to be 21 Savage's real name. And then there's the knife symbol, which fans immediately connected to his brand. So at this point, nobody is confused about who the father is supposed to be. The confusion is, if it's that obvious, why is he still being presented like a mystery guest star in his own storyline? And of course, the internet had a lot to say, because people are looking at this like, how do you do a full, high-budget pregnancy reveal and still keep the father in the shadows? That mystery man energy isn't hitting the same when there's this much public evidence pointing in one direction. Some fans are defending the privacy angle, saying not everything needs to be shared. But others? They're not buying it. They're saying if you can publicly celebrate the pregnancy, why can't you publicly acknowledge the relationship? And that's where the conversation starts shifting from curiosity to critique. Even Le'Veon Bell jumped into the discourse, basically calling out the situation and questioning what kind of message it sends. And when you've got people outside the music industry weighing in, you already know this has gone beyond just celebrity gossip. This is now a full cultural conversation. And the wildest part? This is only the beginning of the questions people are asking. And just when you think this situation couldn't get any more layered, here comes the moment that really sent the internet into detective mode. The like. Not a comment, not a statement, not a messy post, just a quiet, calculated double tap from Kiana on Latto's pregnancy announcement. And somehow, that one tiny action said everything and nothing at the same time. Because on one hand, people are looking at it like, okay, maybe this is maturity. Maybe this is a woman who already knows the situation, who's secure in her role, and who's choosing peace for the sake of the kids and whatever dynamic they all have behind the scenes. Maybe this is modern co-parenting, soft, unbothered, above the drama. But then there's the other side of the internet that said absolutely not. Because when you've been around for over a decade, when you've built a life, had children, and stood beside a man through everything, including legal issues, public scrutiny, all of it, that doesn't read as peaceful. It reads as quiet, controlled, maybe even painful, like saying, I see what's happening and I'm not going to make a scene, but don't get it twisted. And honestly, that interpretation hits a little deeper. Because sometimes the loudest reaction is no reaction at all. Sometimes dignity looks like silence, even when there's a storm behind it. So now people are stuck trying to figure out, was that support? Or was that the calmest form of shade we've ever witnessed? And just when the conversation is already sitting at a 10, here comes the rumor that pushes it straight to 100. Word on the internet is that 21 Savage allegedly wants a DNA test after the baby is born. Now, let's be very clear. If that is true, that changes the entire tone of this situation. Because up until now, the narrative, at least from Latto's side, has been loyalty, consistency, and years of standing beside this man while keeping things low-key. We're talking about someone who openly claimed him, defended the privacy, built her image around being his, and is now stepping into motherhood, only for there to be whispers of doubt. For a lot of people, that's where sympathy starts to shift, because it's one thing to keep a relationship private. It's another thing to keep someone hidden. And it's a completely different conversation if, after all that, you're questioning paternity publicly or even privately. That's the kind of move that people don't just side-eye, they remember it. And if true, it becomes the ultimate breaking point in the court of public opinion. Suddenly, the mystery man narrative doesn't feel intriguing anymore. It feels intentional. And listen, I'm not here to judge anybody's life, but I'm going to be honest about what I'm seeing. Because me personally, I would never be at the top of my game, young, successful, with the whole world at my feet and choose to play the background in a situation that's this unclear. I would never be loudly claiming a man who moves like I'm a rumor. I would never be saying my man, my man, my man in every room, only for that same man to act like a special guest appearance in my life. And I definitely would never be bringing a child into a situation where the energy feels this unsettled. And maybe that sounds harsh, but it's also real. Because at some point, it's not even about who's right or wrong. It's about what you're willing to accept. Maybe Latto is happy. Maybe Kiana has made peace with whatever this is. Or maybe there are emotions behind the scenes that none of us will ever fully understand. But from the outside, looking in, this doesn't read as simple, and it definitely doesn't read as over. So now I have to ask you, what do you think that really meant? And if those DNA rumors are true, does that change how you see this entire situation? Because one thing about the internet, they're going to keep watching, and so am I.